No.
What's up, family? Welcome back to another episode of Fans Know the Game 2, episode 5 on that ass.
No, your ears are not deceiving you. We don't have a theme song. That was silence. It was silence before we came into episode 5.
Like that, but 5.
Yeah, 5.
Episode 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
On that ass.
1, 2, 3,
so
4,
welcome back, man.
5.
Thank y'all for continuing to subscribe to our sports channel. Head over to the main thing, Mud TV. Check out all that content over there, man. But we back with another episode, brother. But before we get into anything, we appreciate y'all for sharing, and subscribing. Support all the links below, man. We back with another episode of Fans Know the Game 2, man. What's up? What's good with you?
Everything
What's
good,
happening, man? What we doing?
Everything good. That's Fans Know the Game 2, TOO. You know what I'm saying? You can check us out on all platforms.
Sometimes you illiterate, mother.
Yeah, you'll see that. It's right there, though. It's right there with the 2 exclamation points behind because we talk loud. Everything is good. It's another week, and we in here. We in it. You know what we do and what we came to do. The lights are on. That means it's game time.
That's what we came to do, man. We came to talk about some playoffs, talk about some basketball,
Playoffs.
talk about a little bit of smoke.
Playoffs.
We'll end it with some smoke. But let's kick it off, man. Let's kick it off with last night. Matter of fact, last night. Go ahead and put this here in the background here. Hold on, that way.
Just making sure I don't I tell you there's a green screen behind us, guys. I don't think we black things out.
That was my fault.
I don't think we black things out, right? Don't think we paid the bill. Everything is good. Everything is good. We're still here.
Let's move us over because I
look
want
at
us
this.
to
Look at this intern work right here. This intern work right here is awesome. It's amazing.
So last night, already the Hawks was entering the game without Trae Young. Trae Young suffered a bone bruise, stepping on the ref's foot, which, by the way, yo, it's so funny watching the playoffs with my wife, bro. Like, she is so funny, dog. She said somebody need to check the referee bank account.
Oh, man, for real. That's a true statement, man.
And she been riding with Atlanta since the first round.
Peace up, 8-town down.
She been riding. Shout out to my wife. She's been riding with Atlanta since the first round, man. She say Atlanta going to the chip.
Hey, man, she got a book.
We're going to talk about that to close the segment out. But
I'm riding with Lady Luck.
So Atlanta comes in the game, right? So the game is set up for Milwaukee to put their foot on them.
Demolish.
As Charles Barkley said last night, this is a first quarter game. Come out in the first quarter. Let them know, hey, it's over.
Total destruction.
It is what it is.
Demolition.
Atlanta comes out, jump out on them 10-2. I think it was 12-2, and then, and it was an uphill battle. Coming out of halftime, again, they're battling. It gets to a point in the game where Atlanta's on a break, and they come down, and Giannis gets hurt. So we're going to play this, and then we're going to talk about the game and just even prior to this injury, how Milwaukee was looking. Let's play this real.
Oh, no. Oh, my goodness. There was a lot of contact on the alley there. This is something you absolutely don't want to see. Oh, you can see the hyperextension. Yep, the left knee.
Rick Lopez, right?
Oh, man. Can't even look at it. No. Can't even look at it. No. Can't even look at it. No. I mean, it is stone. The ovation. Can't even look at it. No.
And I had jokes. I'm not even gonna bust my jokes now. I'm not gonna bust my jokes. So, first and foremost, speedy recovery. We hope Giannis is okay. Speedy recovery to Trae. So you said the Hawks was without Trae?
So the Hawks had already entered the game without Trae Young.
Hold on. You said it was without Trae?
They was without
Trae?
And they was whooping their ass.
So you saying the Trae who was hiding his ankle from the ref who was hiding his ankle from the ref?
I ain't gonna lie, Trae was out there doing all that squatting. I say, Trae, you need to have your ass in the damn game. You're gonna be out there doing all that squatting and posing and shit.
The game before when he did hurt his ankle, I was looking, I was like, yo, bro gotta be like, what, 23, 24, 25 at the most, right? Now you're not young. He's young.
21.
Right? And you got bad ankles already?
I mean, that was just a freak accident.
I'm talking about, but you look at his ankles, he wears those braces and everything.
Yeah, that's true. He always
You
does.
Steph Curry already. For real, for real.
You know, we'll see. We'll see. That's to come. But and we'll talk about injuries too, because I want to talk about that. But so, like I was saying, Atlanta was already winning the game. They was already on a run. What about Milwaukee? Outside and fast forward to the injury, no structural damage right now. Giannis is listed doubtful. Trae Young and Clint Capella, who got poked in the eye and left later on in the game, they are both listed questionable. So, with that being said, what is wrong with Milwaukee in regards to them and their lack of killer instinct?
Questionable is better than doubtful, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It's a program. You have to have it in you, right? Put it like this: you don't know what you don't know. If you've never been somewhere before, you don't know nothing about it, right? I can't tell you nothing about Idaho, guys. I've never been to Idaho. These guys have never been into this type of terrain, and they ain't equipped with the type of tribal leader that they need at the helm. Is his name Budenholzer? Is that his name? Their coach? You're not that guy.
And a friend of mine, he disagreed. Shout out to the homie if you're watching. When they do these inside tracks and they go into the locker rooms and they hear Nate McMillan's ability to connect with his players, what he says, how he says it, the emphaticness behind what he says, he gives them, it was one time he was like, the game they had lost before. Guys, we was in the same situation the last series. And we was in, last night coming into the game. Guys, one fist. We talked about all year. Staying prepared. You go over to Booty, you don't hear that kind of talk. And although he's good, because I think all coaches in the league good coaches, just like everybody that play in the NBA ultimately is good. But there's certain coaches that just have the ability from a coaching standpoint in regards to how they relay the message and keep that you know how you know it's a good coach? When you hear a player in the post game echoing the same thing that the coach said. Yeah. Bogdanovich, I think his name is. Bogdanovich. He did it last night. Coach always talk about the fist and what did Nate McMillan say pregame? Guys, the fist. I talk about the fist.
What does that mean?
That's great coaching, man. It's great. Yeah, right? That's great coaching. So when we're not just talking about X's and O's and stuff, but we talking about the ability to be able to connect with your players throughout a series. And Charles Barkley made a great point last night before I swing it to you. Milwaukee's just a good basketball team. They play good basketball, but they don't have a killer to say, okay, we down 3-1 tonight or 3-1 tonight.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly with that. I with your sentiments, exactly. They don't have the killer. Budenholzer isn't that guy. With you saying about Bogdanovich repeating back what Nate McMillan said, it means that they buy into his philosophy, right? Yeah. When you look back at coaches, man, like Ty Lue, certain coaches, we talk about football, Jay Gruden, certain coaches, Mike Ditka, coaches, Jimmy Johnson. I mean, I'm thinking about football coaches, but basketball coaches, the great ones, unless you have exceptionally great players like LeBron James, Phil knew how to do it. You have to be a motivator, right? The Ultimate Warrior was your coach. You would run through a damn wall, right? You know what I'm saying? Because he would get your juices flowing. You would believe it. You would like, yo, this guy right here has me want to, you know what I'm saying? Make it happen. You got to have that inside of you as well, but it doesn't hurt when you have a catalyst. Right, every team has one. I don't think they have one of those either. That player that is, you know what I'm saying, who's been there, who's that dog. Like Lou Williams is the dog, right? My personal philosophy, the game before or after or whatever, after Milwaukee won, Lou sent some strippers over. You know what I'm saying? It was a whole big Lou Pepper Wang thing. Got them boys weak at the knees. I'm sorry. But yeah, that's what probably would have happened because Lou came in there all smooth with it, right? And we forget that Lou Will is a baller, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
right?
He is.
They were at Atlanta, right?
Yeah, they were.
Atlanta did what they were supposed to do. They protected home court, rightfully so. The Bucks, again, just haven't been there. They don't have that leader that can get them there. Kind of like a Stan Van Gundy, bro. Stan Van Gundy is like get you there, but he can't get you there. You know what I'm saying? You're like the beginning. You're like the starter kit. So with that being said, this is the year that Giannis, Paul George, Chris Paul better win a title. There's no LeBron, there's no KD, there's no Steph, there's no Clay, there's nothing there. This is your chance, guys, to win this title, right? The window may not be bigger than this. Speaking of that, the Milwaukee Bucks, I think, and I've said it time and time again, their window is closed. If you're living and dying with Chris Middleton Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting. Hopefully we'll see if Giannis plays. I mean, injuries is definitely taking its toll throughout the playoffs. And before we get into that, I do want to talk about the next series. Coming in, they was down 3-1, the Clippers. Tonight they're looking to go push it to Game 7.
Yeah, it's Game 6 tonight. The Clippers, man.
Paul George has been holding it down. I'm gonna give it to
Yeah.
you. You go ahead and start it off while I look at this.
You must have been reading my mind because, man, me and this guy right here in sync like Justin Timberlake. I was going to give a shout out and I want to give a toast to Paul George because last show I ripped you, bro. I'm always ripping you, bro. And the basketball gods have a way of just, like, kicking me in the arse. And you came back and you did your thing. You played the most minutes of a player in the NBA, right? As far as the playoffs. You're doing your thing. I like the way this team flows better without Kawhi. I've been talking to Pro about this. I say, man, with the bond that Reggie Jackson and PG have, this team flows a little bit more better. They look a lot better. Kawhi is going to be a Knick next year. Even with the separation and how he sits, from those guys.
Yeah.
That's not.
He's definitely taking out.
No, go ahead.
He's definitely taking on a leadership role. I mean, Reggie Jackson has stepped up.
I love it.
Marcus Morris, but he's definitely back in that Indiana vibe, where it's
right?
he can feel that.
I said that. I said he's gonna have to have an Indiana game, and he's been Indiana Paul George. So with that being said, if this team was the team that started off the year, I probably would clear cut give them the championship because the way Paul George. Let me tell you, man, and I respect Paul George because remember, he had a horrific leg injury. Many haven't come back the same, you know what I mean, from that type of injury. And he is come back, and he's leading a team in his hometown. And with his back up against the wall, he put up 41?
Put up 41.
40 piece
P.
Question. Right now, in America, people are traveling the most that they are. Gas is skyrocketing. Does he have any more gas in his tank? Or will this be the most ironic thing ever? Chris Paul gets a berth to the Western Conference Finals against the Clippers.
I think they got to take him out tonight. Let's play this clip real quick. Speaking of on his toes.
That clip, I said Clippers, you say clip. Man, he's got bars.
Oh, hold on real quick. I got
bars.
the volume down, family.
He's getting fired.
I got the volume down.
First intern on this show getting fired.
Both were cashed in the first 4 games. George on the pull-up, nails a three. Paul George answers, and it's back up to 9.
If you guys want to know, yes, we do have extremely good.
George has 12 of his 23 points.
Paul George hit him with the.
I sit so close that I can trip a referee.
He hit him with the. But yeah, man. So tonight, I'm gonna be honest. I'm still rooting for the Suns because I do not want to see the Clippers in the finals. A portion of me because I'm not even gonna say the criticism. I mean, when you name yourself something, you got to live up to it. So especially when you name yourself something, people are gonna go overboard. So shout out to his teammates. They did what they were supposed to do. But in theory, they were right as teammates for taking up for him, but wrong in the sense of, I mean, hey, he named himself Playoff P. So yeah, I mean, what's gonna happen when you do that?
I agree. I mean, I named myself Smoking Green, and I make sure I smokes me some green. You see what I'm saying? No, for real. I heard that after the game that Chris Paul had to put in a claim with Cliff Paul because his ankles was all fucked up after that.
Oh man, listen.
I'm talking about it was bad, man.
I think you're gonna need a big game out of Chris Paul. I think Chris Paul cannot just leadership facilitate his way. We'll see if the game gets tight. The Suns have a better chance, of winning the game.
I'm gonna call it right now, guys, because I called the last game and I said that they were gonna win by 2, and they won by 3. You can go back and reel that. I say Devin Booker's gonna put up 57 points tonight and close the series against the Clippers.
57.
Watch what I say.
Wow. Okay.
He's gonna have a Kobe-esque game.
A 50 piece from Dev.
Yes, and then Chris Paul's gonna have 13 assists. 19, 11, and 13.
And Devin Booker's gonna have 57.
57, 8, and 4.
You sure you don't want to go down from 57 now?
57, 8, and 4.
All right. So Devin Booker is gonna have 57.
Pat Beverly's gonna foul out.
All right, here we go. So a thing has been floating around, obviously, since the playoffs started, about injuries. From us, AD and LeBron, to, you know, Kyrie over there, you know, in Brooklyn, James Harden, Trae Young, Chris Paul with the COVID thing, and now we have Giannis. Now, a lot of people are alluding to the whole turnaround thing and all of that, but when you look at all of these injuries, right? You look at AD's injury. That's a freakish basketball injury.
He's Mr. Tissue anyway.
You look at Kyrie Irving. Giannis comes up on the rim. He falls in. It's a basketball injury.
He's Mr. Tissue anyway.
You look at Trae Young. It's a freakish, you know, he's running, he's gathering to go run to get back on D or cover somebody that's getting a rebound, and he you know, hits his foot or gets his foot caught up on a referee on the sideline, you know, it's a bone bruise. Freakish accident. And then we seen what happened.
That is a freakish accident.
And then we seen what happened with Giannis. So
that is a freakish accident.
I don't think that these particular injuries
Kawhi
have anything to do with the bubble.
Mr. Tissue?
Kawhi's injury. Kawhi injury
Mr. Tissue?
was a freakish basketball injury. Now, if you want to say teams like the Lakers, who, although got off to a 21-6 start, you could kind of see the effects of the bubble already.
That's the only team.
Banged up, you know, Denver and what happened. But outside of that, these most recent injuries, I mean, they're freakish basketball injuries. What do you think about that?
I said that too. The guys that were kind of like, when we say the Kawhis, the ADs, the Kyries, these are guys who are injured all the time, so it's nothing big.
This is true too. A lot of these guys have injury history.
It's not like it's like, oh, wow, they're injured. Now, with Trae Young, he does have injury history, but that was a freakish basketball accident. I am with Lady Luck when she says, check this guy's bank account, because that was a Terry Donahue-ish move right there. That was some WCW-ish. They are in Atlanta. With that being said, with Giannis too, that was a freakish accident. He just came down on his leg the wrong way, just kind of happened.
He hyperextended it.
You know what I mean? So
hyperextension got nothing to do with the bubble.
But with LeBron and AD, these guys did go play further into the season. They did have a shortened off season. LeBron is old. That's why, you know, for him, that's why he's just trying to go ahead and put in the built-in excuse. You know, hey, I did have a dub of a season.
I mean, but even if you look at his ankle injury that happened in the season, a dude stepped on his ankle. Like, you know what I'm saying? That has nothing to do with the bubble.
That was like I thought that LeBron forgot to leapfrog him. Like, he threw him in the ropes and LeBron, so he just hit his leg.
Like, you know, it's just a freakish basketball injury, bro.
That's nothing to do with the season.
It has nothing to do with the bubble.
Nothing to do with the season. These young cats is out here balling. They had no problems.
There we go.
Basketball plays.
Let's talk about it. We're talking about old niggas. Let's just keep it real. We're talking about older players. Because even if you look at, and you can be like, oh, well, the rookies. Well, listen, if you go back and look at rookie history, rookies always get hurt sometime during the season because they're not built for it. So that's happened every season. And none of them motherfuckers was in the bubble anyway.
No, I got nothing in the bubble. You know,
it's old dudes.
You know who really got injured from the bubble?
And injury-prone guys.
You know who really got injured from the bubble?
Who?
Tyler Hero.
You stupid, man. So, predictions for tonight's game. You said Devin Booker 57.
57.
Who do you think win the Hawks game and the Milwaukee game next game? Or you got to wait and see if Giannis playing?
I got to wait and see if Giannis playing. I let it ride in Vegas. It's the only bet I have left. You know what I'm saying? I bumped into a young cat from Milwaukee last night. You know what I'm saying? I take that as a sign. I need Giannis to win it. Hey, we need new shoes, Giannis.
We'll see. Somebody gonna win their first chip.
But it's no coincidence, right? When they say about the teams that are left over, either we're not in the playoffs last year, or we're ousted in the early rounds, or you know what I mean? It's no coincidence, man. But let me just be real with it. The Lakers look like the Expendables. Right? We need some, besides hamburger.
Oh, shout out. David Fizdale got hired as his assistant today.
I like Fizz. Yeah. He from LA. He's an LA man. He gonna bring, you know why? That's just the beginning. You know where they're bringing that?
Dave to the what?
Russell Westbrook, baby.
Oh, we coming.
Russell Westbrook's coming home. He gonna dedicate the season to Nipsey. He gonna have one hell of a season, and he gonna be missing in the playoffs. Tyler Hero. Okay, but anyways, yeah, man. Shout out to the Lakers. But no, for real. We need some youth for the Lakers. THTO hamburger looking ass. I heard that an exec said they would max him. Are you for real, for real? And then, question, man, I was just with my homie, right? The plug. And we were talking about the Lakers, and he says, I feel like Dennis Schroeder laid down in the playoffs because LeBron James showed out on him. Like, Kuz, like, the body language, like, these guys are just
Dennis
like...
Schroeder was what Raymond Sessions was years ago. Raymond Sessions was hooping on all them bad teams, and when we get him, he froze up in that OKC series. That was one of the reasons OKC beat us.
Did you see what he said he wanted? He said 100 to 150.
Yeah, all right.
He said 100 to 150.
Don't hear it, Russ.
You out of here. We finna get Russell Westbrook, baby. Hey, can you imagine the Lakers versus the Celtics next year in the championship? Bradley Beal versus Russell Westbrook.
I see what you did there, so I'm going to alley-oop it to you. Olympics is coming up. You've said it on this stream, and after you said it, I heard Colin Cowherd, his last couple takes has been about this. You said that the Olympics is going to be the next blueprint and foundation laying ground for the next super team.
I've been saying it for
Talk
years.
about it. You snuck something in there with Bradley Beal. Talk about it.
You gotta look at something, guys.
Before we get into Pippen.
That's where the Heatles was born at, in the Olympics, right? The original Lakers, Kobe, and CP3 and Dwight. I was born out of something like that as well, too. You could see it when they're starting to form. I remember a couple years ago, after the Olympic team tryouts, remember it was KD, Harden, and PG playing after every. I said, bro, these guys, some of them click on my. Bro, I was like, yo, you can see it when they test it and see how the game is and everything. But this is a place where players can meet with other players, you know what I'm saying? Like minds, people like them, and confidentiality, see people you can blend with and think about what you can do. When we look at Bradley Beal, who's from St. Louis, from the Lou.
Used to babysit
Tatum. So why not, right? Can you imagine? I mean, the trade, you could trade Jaylen Brown, or you can keep Jaylen Brown and just give him
No, stop doing all that. Build around the young guys. You have somebody that has shown you, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm him.
So
stop doing this.
Smart, right?
Yeah, stop doing this.
Smart as a trade, that's what I'm saying. Because somebody was asking me Jaylen Brown. I'm like, no, he makes the three-piece.
Unfortunately, the best ability is availability, and his injury was able to highlight Jason Tatum even more and put him in a position where you say, hey, look, man, this is the guy we got to build around.
If he doesn't get hurt, it's a different series. You know what I mean? It's a way different series. They don't get beat as bad, maybe like 4-1.5.
Yeah, I mean, it's a more competitive series.
That's about it. You know what I'm saying? But I believe sincerely, Kevin Love, who should not be a Cavalier next year, who's going to be somewhere next year. Not with us. We don't need you. We need you, Phil McGee.
What do you feel about Jalen Rose and what he said about Kevin Love making the U.S.?
Did he say it was white privilege?
He said he was put on there as a token white dude.
Christian Laettner?
Because the U.S. is afraid to send an all-black team to the Olympics when previously we've sent 4 all-black teams to the Olympics.
What the hell is
I
he
think
talking
yeah.
You're just hot taking it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like his all-black Beijing hairline.
Nah, I do agree. Like I was like
You agree
Kevin
about
Love.
the hairline is all black? Oh,
Like,
no.
like Kevin Love on there.
Well,
Don't tell me no space to floor.
it's from camaraderie. He's the good guy. He's the Jared Dudley of the team.
You know what that is? That's a hell of an agent. That's a hell of an agent.
Bro,
Go ahead,
because they're gonna build a
hoop in
super
the
team.
Olympics. You know what I'm saying? So we can build your value back up.
He's gonna build a super team with some cats out there.
And boom, you know what I'm saying? Help be the reason we win a gold or some shit like that. We could build your value up, and people will want to trade for you now.
You know who would want them? You know where he can go good? With the Clippers and Paul George and Reggie Jackson. I can see him going there because Zubac is not that guy. He's a good player now, don't get me wrong. I can see that happening. I can see because he's gonna go somewhere. He's gonna he's a good third piece to a team. You know what I'm
He's a
saying?
good third piece.
You're gonna see that. Who else is out there balling, man? Who else is out there? Well, Bam Adebayo's out there with Jimmy Butler, right? They're gonna try to do some recruiting.
I can see that. They lost Kelly Olynyk. You know, they did lose that.
They're gonna try to do some recruiting.
You know what I mean? So I can see that.
It's the way of the world, man. You get the most stars. See who has the most gold wins the game. I believe the next super team is going to come out of. Oh, Dame Lillard's there. That's the biggest piece.
Right, that was the piece that
Zach LaVine is out there. That's another big. It's going big game hunting, guys. All these guys always come out and they don't want to be traded or whatever. Until I see the player go, I don't want to be traded.
Right.
It's all smoke.
Agree with that. So to end this off, man.
God bless you.
Excuse me.
You see Harden pulled out.
Oh. To end this off, right? Scottie Pippen,
Scottie dripping.
yeah, Scottie Pippen did a couple of interviews. Did an interview in GQ about his rum, and he was asking him some questions. You know, he got a book coming out. And then on the Dan Patrick show, to get some clarity about the article, he said some things. So Scottie Pippen has been in the news. One of the highlights was him not even alluding, but saying
said it.
Phil Jackson was a racist.
Said he was a hillbilly sharecropping cracker. Banned. You just got banned.
Anyways, man. So hillbilly sharecropping.
I'm telling
cracker.
you, Joy Taylor got us banned, man. I gotta stop pillow talking.
So Scottie dripping.
X-ray vision. This man, he really pimping.
Shout out to Sauce
Whipping
Walker.
for a piece of brownie. Whipping for a piece of a brownie. Ooh-wee.
Shout out to Sauce Walker. Anyway, man, so Scottie Pippen basically described the Tony Kukoc play that wasn't called for him, some racial shit.
Racist.
And
Racist,
and
bruh.
he said, so Dan Patrick said, what you basically are saying Phil's a racist. He said, I have no problem saying that.
I have no problem saying that Phil is a hating ass white boy.
So to overstand
Shout out
like
to
we
Future.
always try to do, I went the route of saying, okay, I don't think Scottie was specifically talking about that incident when he says, I don't have a problem saying that. I think he basically said, I have enough information and enough instances where I would not have a problem saying that Phil Jackson is a racist. Now, we Laker fans, y'all know this. I don't think that there's no white man in America that's 60 plus, 50 plus at this time that hasn't inadvertently or purposely said some racist shit.
Yeah.
So if we put it in real context, right? So Phil Jackson, I think this was at a camp or somewhere where he was talking about the difference in the intellect regarding how white players play the game and how black players play the game. And how the one-on-one was killing the game and, and all of that. He's on record for calling LeBron's crew a posse. Now, I don't care what nobody say. I know Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson is more petty than Michael Jordan when it comes to shots. He purposely chose the word posse. He knew exactly what he was doing. He knew the racial undertone that it had, and he knew exactly what he was doing when he said posse. We're not going to do that. If you know Phil Jackson, you study Phil Jackson, you've been around whether it's Chicago days and especially them LA days, Phil Jackson is a slick talking mofo. Actually, Kobe Bryant, you can look this video up. He said one of the reasons why him and Phil had problems earlier on is because Phil liked to do this. He said, just give it to me straight. You don't have to keep going around. And that's what he do. So, yeah, I think you know the problem that I have with what people are doing with Scottie, right? Is instead of looking at it like, if anybody is qualified to give an opinion about Michael, something about Phil, it's Scottie Pippen.
Man. Is this what this is about? Practice? This is about practice?
What's your take on?
Man, I thought
Pippen really dripping.
I thought it was behind the scenes. I saw the behind the scenes of The Last Dance where Phil bust up in the locker room and say, "What's up, my nigga?" I thought it was about that. I was like, that's some racist shit. Like, that's some racist ass mother. No, for real, bro. I'm like, come on, man. Like, Scottie Pippen is from backwood Mississippi, right? You can't say nothing around his sensitive behind. You know what the problem is? You know what the problem is? That Phil Jackson listens to Future. That's the problem.
We should cut it right now.
No. Okay, I'm gonna be real. No, I don't think that. No, for real. Like Michael Jordan, who's the whitest guy that anybody knows, would have said that Phil Jackson was a racist if he was a racist. I mean, the way that he straightened out old Chameleonaire when he came to get a picture from him, old Michael would have shut that racist undertone down, Scotty. Steve Kerr might have swung on him. Feisty Steve Kerr.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, hold up. Wasn't your boy Craig Hodges on that team? Now, come on, man.
I can't. That's why I'm interested because I cannot wait to hear what Brother Craig gotta say. I gotta hear what Brother Craig gotta say.
Craig won 3. 1, 2, 3, 3-pointers.
Listen, I gotta hear what Brother Craig gotta say now. Cause when Brother Craig talk, I listen. No, hold on now.
Phil Jackson.
Hold on now. See, this. I'm gonna tell y'all like this. I don't got no problem with what Scottie doing. Scottie has been disrespected all his damn career.
Man.
All his career. You know what? Here's the thing, right? Mm-hmm. People use this thing with Kyrie Irving. They say, well, Kyrie Irving didn't do anything before LeBron James got there.
That's what Scottie said.
Kyrie Irving was how many years in the league before LeBron got there? He had just signed an extension. So he was going into his 4th year in the league. How many years before Scottie got there? 3, right? So why is that not a fair judgment to say?
Let me tell you something, man.
Why is it not fair to use the same judge? If we're going to use a judgment on a guy that's a great basketball player, that's going to be a Hall of Famer, and we say, well, Kyrie ain't do nothing before LeBron got there. All right, well, then Michael Jordan ain't do nothing before Scottie got there. And I don't see a basketball world where if Scottie Pippen doesn't not even come there, but you see in The Last Dance, if Scottie Pippen doesn't develop into that kind of player, he ain't getting no 6. What are we really talking about, y'all? Like, I know y'all love Michael Jordan and everything like that. Michael Jordan ain't getting no 6 rings without no Scottie Pippen. And the man done told you that several times. So in my opinion, if anybody is qualified to pop shit about Michael, because all we done heard all our lives anyway is old Black Jesus and all this other stupid shit anyway, let a nigga come out and say something real about somebody. What you thought this man was just what he was? Nah. Okay, you know what they say? The Last Dance was from Michael's point of view, right? Okay, so how about if Horace Grant, Scottie Pippen, and Craig Hodges get together and they make a Last Dance from their point of view?
It's gonna be the lowest rated documentary ever.
You stupid. But you know what it'll be looked at? Oh, y'all hating. But wait, you just said that Mike made it from his point of view, so we're making it from our point of view. Oh, wait. So I don't be liking that, bro.
Stop the madness right now.
I'm riding with you, Scottie.
Stop the madness. Stop the MJ slander right
you
now.
About that Tony Kukoc shit, that's bull. He made the shot. Shut up.
Right now.
But I'm riding with you, bro.
You said that if Scottie never came, Michael
Jordan don't have no 6 rings, bro.
Oh yeah, well if Scottie never, if why you bringing up old shit, bro? Why you gotta bring up old shit?
You know, Shaq don't have.
I thought we were talking about Trae Young.
Shaq keeps losing if Kobe don't beat Kobe.
I thought we were talking about Trae Young doing the shimmy and shit. Why you gotta bring up Scottie Pippen?
People gotta remember Shaq was 8 years into the league before he won his first chip.
Man, this is what it is, right? Let me ask you a question, man. Let me be honest with you, bro. Let me be honest with you. How many people bought Tito Jackson's greatest hits?
Nobody.
Bing, 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 bing. This man was on the interview saying, all them times Michael Jordan took the last shot, I wasn't good for one. I can't get one. That was
the hoest thing I heard.
I'm saying, Phil.
Nah, bro, you acting like a hoe.
You don't like black folks? I can't get a shot. Not to mention that you missed the 2 shots before that. He's like, but Phil, I put my nuts on his chest the last game I dunked on him. You know, come on, man. Come on, man. For real. But
yo, you heard the bitterness, like, yo, Mike finally gone. This is my moment, and he gonna try me with this old and get it. I made the mother. Oh,
that's what it was.
No.
Question though, what happened in Portland when there was no Michael Jordan?
Yo, man, Cowherd gave out his stats because Cowherd covered that series because he was living in Portland. Oh my God, Scottie was atrocious.
That's what I'm saying. What happened? What happened
like
in Houston?
Wells and you know what I'm saying?
What happened in Houston when you had Akeem Olajuwon and Barkley?
Charles Barkley being fat.
This is from the man who went on summer vacation and then had surgery during the season. He's so dedicated.
I don't know, Scottie. I mean, I have to ride with you, man.
Scottie. The way the white
y'all
guys
gotta put some respect on Scottie.
The way the white guys they run the plays, Scottie.
Y'all gotta put some respect.
I'm gonna draw up a play, Scottie, so you can't shoot the last play shot, Scottie, because you have a small brain, Scottie. How he saying? Scottie, you went to motherfucking Arkansas State on a janitorial scholarship. And you want to be mad.
All right, y'all. Hey, listen, man. Thank y'all for tuning in, man. This is episode 5. I'm one of your hosts, Troy D. the Student, man.
We already done got banned already, so I'm just going to continue to slander and drop bombs on y'all ass.
This is my guy right here.
Oh, my gosh.
This is my guy right here.
I am Green, and this is Fans of the Game 2. The lights are going off. Game over.
Peace.